Now give me the beat.
We are.
Hello.
How?
I have a big dog on my screen right now.
Bark.
Boop. Boop. Does it work if we
Bark a
put him
wolf.
here? We can put him like here, right? This works? Last time I tried to stick him out of the box, but what ended up happening was someone else joined us, and then he was no longer in the box, so I had to gotta like... Oh, that's right, we had to tilt you forward this way, and then move you over here.
Yes.
Like you're peeking out from behind me.
Yeah.
There we go. Yo, what's up, people?
Actually,
How you guys doing? Oh, you're a robot. Poor Wolfo stuffing him in the box. Oh yes, creeper status. Gotta love it. What's up, Taurus? What's up, Nick? What's up, Meowgin? What's up, Trevor? I think I got everyone so far. Why is dog a robot? Is dog a robot because server?
Yeah, no, my servers, I got kicked.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, my internet's like messing up for some reason. Now
Oh,
it
I need
seems
to
fine.
turn this down and this up, and then you can properly hear the robot. I think we liked our music volume around here. I really need to make a preset for this. Thanks for the lurk, Azarine. Hello, dog. Doggo woof.
Bark, bark, woof.
How are volumes? How are volumes, chat?
That's to reboot Zeepkist.
Have you tried turning the internet on and off again? Oh, wait, you had to reboot Zeepkist?
That's what I'm doing right now. It kicked me, it disconnected me, and then it was like stuck trying to load servers, and it was stuck there. So I'm rebooting it.
Oh, weird. So like
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
your whole internet went out? That's strange.
No, I don't know. Like it just like hiccup for a second, but like only internet usage right now is me and Nutty. So I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it could have
Is
been like a neighborhood blip rather than just a you guys
something
thing,
like that. It could be just something like that.
Do you just really want
Then
to
Lupin just went to bed.
Lupin sleepy.
Lupin's EP.
Volume sounds solid. Sick McNasty. Thanks, Trevor.
He woke up early like me, but I got to have a nap, so.
I just want to know why there's 2 bumps. Why 2 bumps? Why not only 1 bump? Oh, that was bad anyway. And then, like, staying right? Maybe if you have enough speed, you can make that really smooth? Oh, I'm running out of time to even do this. Oh, we should change the name of the lobby. That should be priority number 1. Room settings. It's no longer a pre-stream party lobby. It is now a streaming on YouTube. At Two-Face. Oops.
Keep going.
Oh. Let me pull up. Yeah, I have really good connection to Discord. It must be Zed's.
Let me reboot mine real quick.
I'm a bit quieter. I can't turn myself up anymore, so I have to turn Zed down. We come in peace. It would also help if I had like proper mic posture. Hold on. Let me be let me be a real streamer. All right. The mic's here. All right. Come on. There we go. The dog is temporarily gone. Put your radio voice on. All right. We're gonna play some Zapekist. How? Yes, hot. Proper mic posture. Proper mic posture is important. I'm really bad at it these days, but like, I used to be really good at it. I used to have really good desk posture when I used to stream a lot more. I used to like stream every night. And I would really focus on like proper desk posture. No, come on, please. Oh, that was terrible. But I'm taking it. I don't know if I've ever played this track. Have I? Yes, I have. I have a PB. I remember that from when I'd hang out with you in the room and play Switch while you streamed. Oh, I was reading chat and not looking at the track. Yeah, no. Like, I had really good streaming posture. Something I focused on. But I mean, like, I learned the hard way to do that because I would do like 12-hour streams sometimes. Woo! Chat distraction death. It happens all the time, man. Oh, I know it happens to me too, lol.
Okay.
The Zed has returned.
We shall see how it sounds.
You're not a robot yet. Yeah.
Cool. I basically, so my little I forget what they're called now at this point.
Pony?
My brain's escaping me. No, My Little Pony. My little Ethernet box splitter thing.
Oh, Switch.
Had fallen off the switch had fallen off the back end of my desk and it was hanging. And I think maybe the cable might have had an issue because it was like it's kind of finicky, the power cable for it. If
Why
you
did
twist
he
it,
pop
it
up
disconnects.
behind you? What was he doing? I put him there before he disconnected. He was having internet issues and he just got back from fixing them. I would join you guys, but I'm still finishing up adulting duties. Aw, sad day. Sad day. How you doing though, Borg? Wah. Jesus Christ. Okay. Decimals on speed splits are sick, unique. Me likey. Yikes. Well, Borg, if you do finish up adulting duties, let me know. We'll be live for about 2 hours. Been working on my YouTube channel? Hell yeah.
Aim speed. Ah.
Alright, I'm a bit faster this time. Boop. Not very close to my PB though. Like close-ish, but
I just want to get a finish today. That's my goal. I feel rusty just because I've been playing games at all really in the last couple of days. It feels like not this kind of game. Been busy with stuff, life, things.
I want someone to make a Zapekist VR mod. Could you imagine like Zapekist sim racing?
Well, I mean, like that would be first person,
right?
So like, yeah, first person, but you'd be forced first person no matter what. So, all you third person lovers out there,
right? I don't mind first person. If I could look
I
around,
love first person.
If I could look around, it would make first person better for me. You know what I mean, right? Like the only reason I don't like first person is because my peripherals
a fixed
are
first
gone.
person. If you could at least have like you could at least use your right analog to like change the view a little bit, like look around.
Yeah.
Some games have that. Some racing games have that as a feature, and it's nice. I love
That's
that.
true.
So
yeah, you're not wrong.
I like to look at my car. Look at my, look at my dude. Put that in the suggestion box for Unique.
Right, Zapekist VR.
Well, not just that, even just like camera control, like just to be able to rotate your camera around your, like just have a pivoting camera around the Zeep, or even just have like you could have it to where you could pivot around with the right analog, but then have like maybe press down and you could look back or something.
I still want the ability for mappers to be able to put people in fixed third person through a gate, and I still can't do that. Ah! We have the camera, you just have to manually switch to it if you want it. Or set your presets up to be different.
Yeah.
I don't first person at all anymore, and the only reason is because usually when I'm playing Zapekist, I'm showcasing the map, and first person doesn't always give the best, like, results for showcasing things. So I switch mine to fixed third person when it's in first, because it's basically the same idea. Just a little further back.
I typically let it stay in however it's intended to be played. Like however they intended it, I just let it stay that way because that's just how they designed the track. That's my usual way, but I'm also just too lazy to go through and change things unless it's absolutely like to like play. Like if it's like flying maps.
Right.
Anything flying, that's where I wish they would have like a fixed third person for even just flying.
Yeah, fixed third was huge for flying for me.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing about flying is it gets really disorienting for me. I think that's part of why I don't like the paragliders. Like I'm not against flying in some games if that's like what's intended for that. Like if I'm playing GTA, yeah, I'm flying planes, that makes sense. But like
I just don't feel like I know if I like the way that it controls in the game.
No, that's the thing.
Really like I don't mind flying in games, just I don't care for the flying that's in this one.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is like this could be refined, and if like anything, if the camera could be just a fixed third person for whenever you go into flight, because that would just make more sense to me.
I agree with that.
Like let that gate be also a fixed third person gate at the same time, or have it be toggleable. Like have that be a toggle thing that you can be like, turn on fixed third or turn on just third person or first person even.
Right. I tried.
Yeah, I
can't
think
even
with
do third
flying,
person,
just
lol.
with how like kind of dizzying it is, and that's kind of funny coming from me because I do like I've made pretty dizzying tracks in the past, I think, but
Well, it's the fact that you're not
something-
on a track, right? When you're on a track, you
Yeah.
basically can move in like a 2D space, but when you're in the air,
Yeah.
you can move in a 3D space.
it really throws things off. It's like an extra bit that you have to like focus on, and it's hard to do it for me sometimes. Like I have to be ready for it, and when it comes out of nowhere, it's like screw this, I don't want to play this. Or if I'm like in the mode to be driving and then suddenly I'm flying.
I agree with this guy. I think most people agree on the flying topic. Unfortunately, there are some people who really enjoy it. I'm not like trying to discount
and that's
their
fair.
opinions.
That's fair.
But I am just not in that group of people. Also, what's up, Kill? What's up, Easy Terry?
What up, Kill? Yeah, it's like that's it. If a game has flying inherently, like if there's planes in the game and you get to fly those planes, then sure.
I was just
finally,
saying that it would be really cool if someone did a VR mod for Zapekist and then it turned into
Cool.
flying controls
Cameras.
and stuff like that, and cameras and whatnot.
camera angles and then flying and then yeah.
Going okay was just looking at code things. Nice.
Okay, but like VR, this is gonna sound like a weird concept, but VR map editor.
That'd be sick though.
Where you could,
if you
where you
could
could just have
literally
like your
place a piece.
Well, it's like you have like a radio menu that just pops up, and you can just like choose the pieces off the radio menu and just place them with your hands. Like that'd be kind of sick,
Is there a
actually.
Universal Unity VR mod? I know there is for Unreal Engine 5, but I don't know about any other Universal VR mod for stuff. What's up, Cookie?
Cookie.
I may need a mod to do better controls compatibility, but yeah. What do you mean better controls compatibility?
Butter?
Like for third-party controllers or something? Always good. How you doing? I'm doing very well, actually. I don't know. Got off work an hour earlier than normal today because one of my coworkers told my manager that he needed to leave work an hour early today, and my manager basically just went, how about we all leave an hour early today? And then we all left an hour early. All of us being all three of us, so, you know.
Screw it, yeah.
Right.
Hey.
Good manager. Well, you know, when the company's going down and there's really nothing left to do, might as well just go home. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Fire us?
Right.
Where
okay,
do
I
you
already
buy
beat you to that
managers
punch.
like that? He's an ex-Microsoft employee, so I don't know. I guess Microsoft? I guess Microsoft has good managers? I don't know, man. There we go. Finally got a time. Last update like 11 months ago for the Unity VR mod that does all Unity games. It'd be interesting to look into. I'm sure there's some YouTube videos on it or something. Well, I mean, you have to remember that this guy hasn't worked for Microsoft for the last 5 years, but that's where he worked before he worked for this company we're working with, or I'm working with.
The
You guys aren't
pre-AI
working with this
times.
company. Yeah, he's from the pre-AI times. He used to work on the Xbox team. Will do, Kill. No idea if this is faster, but it feels like a better line. Oh, it's slower. It's so much slower.
I'm trying
Not
to
only
cut
am I
trying
slower
to
speed, but...
trying to cut corners here and trying to.
What's up,
do
Mr.
this,
Wolf? How's it going?
Oh.
Pupper?
Crash is being chased by the pupper.
Oh, that's how I see. He's being the grumpy old dog now. I see.
Oh yes, he is. He's doing okay though. Like he's learning.
That was a loud bork.
Yeah, it was.
You feeling better today? A bit. What are you humming about, Cookie? I think you need to put an application at my work. No, Borg. No. I refuse. I humbly refuse.
I found out why Crash barked. I guess the puppy bit a certain area, and then Crash wasn't happy about that.
Oh.
Puppy teeth hurt.
So my profile pic was old in the first new message. YouTube is weird. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. You know all the things about that, and I know minor things about that in comparison to me. In comparison to you.
Yes.
Words. Do I even English? Come on, it's for development position. Dude, I don't do development.
I have no credentials for the job, but I'll take it. I need a job.
No, you don't want it. You don't want it, Zed. You don't. You want to know? I can't.
What does he do?
I'm not gonna dox him that hard, but let me put it this way: he lives in our hometown, or he works in our hometown. Rather, he doesn't live in our hometown. He works in our hometown.
Fun.
I think for the city, if I remember correctly.
I'm so sorry. I only joke because for news for people that don't know, I'm freshly unemployed myself, and so that's my life right now. But we're making it. We're positive. We're moving forward. So that's all we'll say.
Yeah, I was correct. He works for the city of our hometown. So you know, I don't think you want it, Zed. I just
No, I don't. I wouldn't.
I don't think you want it.
Working for City of Reading would be like hell. Like, nah, I'm good.
Hey, this is Minecraft. Hey, it is Minecraft.
All I know is I want to stay in my industry. I'm not going to say what one it is, but just say potions.
Potions.
I just want to stay there. For now, though, we're going to milk it. Try to focus some streaming in the next, couple weeks or so. If I can get the time to without sad at a pupper.
Yeah, let's all do this more or less unemployed life. Let's go. I'm down. I'm doing that in
I already
few
left
months.
California. I mean, in all honesty, like, if I actually had the money, if we all had the money here to like actually afford it, like, I wouldn't be against still living in California. It's just like expensive. It's expensive and always on fire, and like, I wouldn't live in Reading for sure though. I wouldn't live up in that area. So
I'm done. I've lived my portion of my life in that area, and I am done.
To me, like, I would revisit the desert. That's something I would like think of revisiting, or even like the mountains in SoCal. Like, something about that idea is kind of interesting, but I don't know. But that would be like if that was even affordable. I don't know. It's just so expensive.
Yeah, Mr. Woof Woof. It's automatic. You don't have to do it manually. This is the track that made Ronan and I agree to play Minecraft for content at some point. And now people
I didn't even realize
asking,
this was Minecraft based.
Now people won't stop asking when we're doing Minecraft content, and I'm like over here thinking, well, do we want to play modded? I kind of want to make my own mod pack. I don't really want to use a mod pack that already exists that people have played 1,000 times. So it might take a little bit because I might develop my own mod pack. We'll see.
Make it a special run.
Right. Well, what would make it more special than basically having like a custom version of Minecraft to play, right?
Yeah, make it unique.
Right.
Gosh. Meanwhile, I've played probably about like 30 minutes of Minecraft ever in my lifetime. Looking at people like everybody else has played it, but I've like never really played it. But it's never really been appealing to me myself.
It's one of those
But
games
I see the appeal.
A lot of people like because it's so flexible. Same like with a reason why like people like Roblox and stuff, because you can do so much with it.
For me, it's like visually, I don't have any appeal to it visually, I think is my main thing.
I'm good in my
So that's why I
Tennessee
typically,
rural
like-
life, family home that I don't have to pay rent. It's just me and my girlfriend. I didn't need to know you were in your girlfriend, okay? Just
Oh.
waiting for this fiber install. Tired of the fiber line on the pole tantalizing me. Lol. Going to SoCal in a few weeks. Nice. I've been playing Minecraft for the past 2 days. Yeah, that happens. I'm 99% sure this is a Zapkus clone of the Trackmania Minecraft track. Lol. Oh yeah, and what did you say about the PNG things? Oh, they're automatic. Minecraft. Make it unique. Lol. I've actually
Wow.
played Minecraft with unique. It's fun to do whatever you want, true. Played since 2011. Same. Flying.
I did it.
Yeah, I'm trying to just chill today, Mr. Wolf Wolf.
We chilling.
One of these days, but today's not the day, unfortunately. Let's see. I slowed down on Minecraft a little bit after I got obsessed and then got fired about a decade ago. Lol. You got fired because you were obsessed with Minecraft? Is that why?
I need to review your performance. It seemed that you talk about and play too much Minecraft.
Seems like your coworkers won't stop complaining about you talking about creepers. Man, okay, you know what? There we go. There we go. Fix third person. So much better. Ah. No. You see your performance. Oh wait, no. You see your performance review isn't impressive no matter how cool your gold farm that you spent a work week working on. Oh no. They failed him for hosting the Minecraft server on the work computer. That's hilarious. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
I said no.
Yeah, I said yep. Look, we all have choices.
I choose to make money. I stick to this bread or something like that.
Nope. Yep.
Hold on, I'm focused on a flying track. I will look at chat momentarily.
I'm happy that I at least got a finish on this track because this is the first time I ever did. Of course, can't have a record on it, but
Well, switching from fixed third to third is a trip sometimes, dude. No! Sad. No, look now. What's up, Codewalt? Sup, Blackbird? How's it going? Who needs to finish? It's all about the ride, right?
Oh, I didn't make it.
You gotta like arms up.
I know. It's been a minute since I played this track, to be honest.
Yeah.
I forgot.
New submission. Dang, Codewalt. Codewalt's been making
Have we-
tracks again. Never seen
Have we
this
started
coming.
the submission lists?
No, we haven't. I've been waiting
I'm just
for
thinking that,
chat
like-
to build up, but I have the playlist made already. Yep, host controls, whole playlist, load playlist. It should be submissions 5725. And we'll queue this up. Take that down to like 5 minutes. Next up playlist. Alright, submissions will start. Next map.
Hell yeah.
The problem with flying tracks like this one is that the author makes the flying line too tight, turns very sharp. It's, I don't know. It's
very quick
right?
reaction.
It's subjective, right? So.
I mean, in the same sense of other like driving tracks, though, it is kind of the kind of get good aspect of it, like skill issue thing. I'm not trying to be mean, but it is very much a thing that you gotta practice it. As much as I don't like flying tracks, me practicing it made me finish it.
Right.
Not a great time, but I at least finished it. You know, like. And I'll take that. If it's a hard track that I admit is a bit out of my range, I'm happy enough with the finish. I don't care if it's a world record time. Just a bonus if I get that.
I'm doing all right, Code. Sleepy as usual, but what else is new?
EP.
Who got some notes on how to code a map instead of using the map maker? I mean, it's maybe arguably easier now because it's a JSON instead of a CSV.
JSON.
So, I mean, it should be easier to read logically, at least. But it just changed, so I doubt, like, literally anyone has notes for you because it just happened.
Oh god, too sharp.
Who the hell is JSON? He's this cool guy. He knows JavaScript. "13th of Friday." Yeah, he has this crazy mom. This crazy mom. You wouldn't believe it.
He's not the best swimmer. Well, I guess nowadays he is.
Wow, Grail's in the lobby. I feel like I see Grail like every now and then like not for
I haven't
a
seen
really
Grail
long
in a
time.
while.
My mom is crazy. Kill's real name is Jason.
Crazy?
Yikes, lol. Or yes, lol. Doxing themselves on the internet. Bad. No, I was... Kill's the one that was insinuating. What's up, Ogle? How's it going, dude? Duderino? I don't know.
Meh.
Oh, yo, Can't Find the Sky is here again? I mean, my name isn't hidden on the net. I mean, I don't, like, try really hard to hide mine, but I don't, like, say it in places. People have definitely, like, found me and stuff before, but, like, you know, I'm not, like, out there advertising it. Not that I'm saying that's what you were doing, I'm just saying, like, personal. How I handle it personally. I'm pretty sure the first thing that comes up if you search my real name, or my online name, I think, is a GitHub of, like, really, really ancient coding stuff I used to do at college. And I didn't really... I dropped out, so it's, like, not even, like, good coding stuff. Missed a few of these. The submissions? Whoa. I just think that no matter what, if someone wants to find it, they're going to. So I feel like the efforts to hide it all are futile, right?
of hiding information online.
Yeah, like
hiding. Yeah.
It's like, so, like, okay, some website somewhere is going to have a data leak at some point that you have an account with, and that's inevitable.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't have control of that, and if there's a data leak, your information's out on the internet. Like, oh no, it's just gonna happen, like, all the time.
There's so many ways, even just through like subscriptions or something, even, or through things like that. There's probably ways that it's been out there, you know. Hell, if you have a Sony account, if you had a Sony account in the last 15 years,
Sony,
they've
Facebook,
had
Yahoo.
Yeah, like a Sony PlayStation account, I should clarify. A PlayStation account, I should clarify, but
right.
Still, like a PSN account they have been breached several times.
No, true, but what I'm saying is, like, if you've had something for a long time and it's something you want to stick with, and, you know, like, it's almost unavoidable. Like,
yeah.
And I think I'm just at the point where I just feel like it's better to just not care, right? Like, it's better to not worry about it, because you're realizing that you're in the same boat as literally everyone else on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My military training has taught me that your information is always going to be out there. Exactly.
Yeah.
Seabad.
It's actually already out there. But when you think it's not out there, it's already out there.
Yeah. Seabad actually watched my vids under my real name before he knew it was me. That's hilarious. Because of daylight savings, your stream has been 2 hours earlier for me, lol. Are you in, like, Australia, Ogle? I feel like I get the Australian crew a lot. Another reason to hate daylight savings. True. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, sweet. I'm glad that I'm able to get the like Australian group, like, when I stream. Look at things like people who do GeoGuessr, and we aren't even talking AI powers that can identify locations from a photo potentially. Exactly, like, it's like it's kind of insane how easy it is to gather data these days. Like, it's so much effort to try to fight it, and everyone else is in the exact same boat.
And to be fair too, if you use social media at all in any sense too, like,
right,
and you use your real name at all, or you have like IRL friends kind of thing, like, you're there. You're already there, you know.
And that's what I used to work at Geek Squad, and people would always be like, "How can I maintain anonymity online?" And I was always like, "Pro tip, like, it's always going to be out there as long as you're signing up for things with your, like, real name. Like, there's not going to be true anonymity as long as you're using the internet. It just really isn't a thing." And people worry so much about it, and it's like, you and 6 billion other people or some shit.
That's the thing, is like,
not literally, but
I remember even just like not even having my real name on my Facebook when I was using it, just because, like, I didn't want bosses to find it. I just didn't want, like, my boss to be like, "Hey, I saw what you said the other day," for any reason, you know? Because I'm also very much of the mind of, like, keep your work separate from home kind of thing. You know, and so, like, that's a lot of.
Or you work for the government. Most likely, they have your name posted and how much you make. That's interesting. I didn't know that about government jobs.
Yeah. I mean, if you even work as a certain, like, you might even have your, like, profile online just as your business, as your name. If you're like a therapist, that's going to be online if you have it set up like that, you know.
I think one of my favorite things working at Geek Squad that I saw was, like, people who would come in with their laptop, like, wrapped in tinfoil and stuff. We had people that would buy those, like, weird, like, people would buy, like, blockers because they thought that their computer would emit, like, harmful radiation into them if they didn't have this radiation blocker, and it was, like, literally just like a sticky backed, like, piece of metal with, like, nothing in it, and it was just sold to people who were, like, paranoid, and that was, like, the whole business. And like there was a bunch of stuff like that.
I'll imagine.
I was also technically an Apple support rep. Not on the phone, but like actually fixing Apple products. But I had to deal with clients. A lot. Yeah, EMI radiation. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's crazy that people are out there just scaring people so that they can, like, sell people on a product. Oh, wait. Isn't that just religion?
Ah. But,
No, that's church. True. That's true. That's an important distinction to make. You're correct. Organized religion there. Along with that, there are actually radioactive products out there that claim to do the same kind of stuff. Yeah, no, and honestly, I find it to be like really funny when people think that their computer is dangerous, but they're like out and around things that are like much more dangerous to that all the time, and they like never think about it.
Yeah, your job, like
Right.
if you work with like a register, you
Right.
work with a computer
Dude,
of any sort. Like
100%.
you know, you computers are everywhere around us. Like technology is everywhere around us. So unless you live in nature.
I did tier 2 phone support. I had to take a call about it. And honestly, the info Apple has is shit and nothing. Oh, I know that. I was like, look, this is what they have. This is all the info I have. And it's like, yeah. No, it's seriously... It's always the people that don't know anything about computers, right? It's always the people that, like, are just too afraid of their device to actually use it that think that it's, like, out there to hurt them.
So old people.
I mean, not
A
exclusively.
lot of times. Not exclusively, but in my experience, a lot of times
I've
old
had people like my age that like don't know what to do with technology.
True.
And,
I mean,
and they
honestly,
come
I
in
could be
all
like that
paranoid and
myself.
stuff.
There are certain levels of tech, but it's also because, like, to me, my brain doesn't wrap around some tech things that easily. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard. I don't know. So, like, in some way, I have that issue myself, where like, I kind of start panicking if I can't figure something out, and I'm just like, screw it, I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. So I get it to some degree, but
we had this regular at Geek Squad that would come in like often, and she had like we had like a subscription model where you pay like $200 a year or something, and you can come in at any time and like get your stuff fixed, right? And she would come in, and every time she would be like the nicest person bringing her computer in, and then she'd pick up her computer and she'd yell and scream about how we were like agents from the FBI sent to install viruses on her computer so that the aliens could hack her computer. And then like one time she accused us all of being the aliens themselves and like stormed out. We actually had to call the cops on her that time because she was just irate. It was insane.
yeah. I'll say the further add to the old people thing. I mainly say that because not that I work in tech or anything, but working with customers as customer service and having to work with things like apps on a phone or like how to pull up photos on a phone. Even to that simple level, they're like, I don't even want to touch this. I don't even want to do this kind of thing. They just don't even want to do with their own phone. They can avoid a computer if they all need to, but like a lot of times they just go with a simple like flip phone if they can help it. But
computers
I just had so
are
many
dangerous.
customers.
I had a friend who got physically accosted by her desktop. It maliciously fell on her foot. Gotta watch out for that gravity now. Young people do the same thing. They fear what they don't understand. That's true. That's true. Like,
I mean, everybody does. Everybody
Right.
is, there's a lot of people that fear what they don't understand. That's just kind of a human nature thing.
I'm a big
But, like,
fan of just trying to understand the things I don't understand. And then I have very little to fear.
I think for me, if I actually give a damn about it, then I'll want to understand it. But if it's not relevant to what I'm trying to do, or if it's not something that I want to like take the time to deal with, then I just don't want to deal with it. Like
I'm
I can be
someone that
stubborn
will
in that
rabbit
sense.
hole a random topic for no reason. When I have an excuse
Yeah.
to use it, it's exciting.
See, I just rabbit hole on like meaningless things to anybody else, really. So
I mean, have you ever been cut by a PCB? You have no idea how many times, CodeWalt. I couldn't even tell you. I've been burned by PCBs. I have scars on my arms from literally making PCBs. Oh my god, kill. I love PC cases because sometimes it doesn't matter how old it is, it's still cool. Like some people used to bring in like their ancient gaming PCs and they'd be like, oh man, it's out of date. And I'd be like taking apart their like old gaming PC and I'd be like, yo, this case is rad. I feel like I have a case like that that'll always be classic. I really like my case right now.
Yeah. I just think of all like the old case or the old, towers that were just in the, at the property of grandpa and stuff. And just like some of those massive old school towers that were like huge.
Yeah.
Which nowadays is like you buy a huge case like that, you're like looking to build some massive serious rig or something for like server work or whatever.
There? Sheesh. I worked at a theme park that was open during COVID. I had to take people's temps with a no contact thermometer prior to letting them in. Jeez. I still rock full tower. I'm a full tower guy. I'm a full tower guy right now. The reason I rock full tower is because I'm a tech nerd and I know I'm gonna go in there eventually, right? And if I'm gonna go in there eventually, I'm gonna be really upset if like I can't get to the thing I want to get to change it out. Like the room doesn't bother me. Like it's cool to have a compact computer, but it's not required.
I think it depends on what your purpose use is for it too, and like I think it's preference is all. It's all preference.
Right. Well, like for example, like I'm planning on getting like a new SSD soon, and like if I had to like take my CPU heatsink off or something to like install my new SSD, I'd be frustrated. Whereas like the way I have enough space in my computer right now, like I don't have to remove anything to do anything with anything. Like everything is modular. Everything is literally like the reason I got this case in its entirety is because it had I didn't see that. Is because it had a like thumb screw tray where you mount a radiator onto the tray for your like AIO cooler, and then the tray just slides in and out, and you can like maintenance it or dust it at any time and not have to like unscrew the entire like AIO.
Hell yeah.
Like, I like the ability to access my parts. You know what I mean? That's what I like. But that's because I'm a huge tech nerd, and I'm a hardware person,
Yeah. I think if you're building small scale, I think if it's something that you're making I don't know, I think of the idea of making like a media center kind of thing out of it in the living room. If I had a small kind of build in that sense, you know what I mean? Like that would make sense to me because I'm not doing hard, crazy stuff on it. I just wanted to be able to play stuff, but like, not saying that makes any sense for anybody else, but my use case is thinking of it. But I like mine. Mine's, I guess, a full tower, I want to say. It's decent size. And I can get into it pretty easily.
Please. Yes.
Actually, I need to get back into it and put another M.2 in there.
Oh, I don't have time, though. Oh, the finish is right there. Dang. I've been wanting to build a wall mount computer. Wall mount computers are cool. I would rather almost have a desk PC than a wall mount PC personally, but to each their own.
I think a wall mount's neat, but also it's just a lot of... Feels like, I don't know, it depends on how it's being mounted, but... I don't know. I also like the idea of a desk, like an actual like flat in the desk PC though too. I've seen those where like the desk itself is the PC.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
That's a lot more like neat because you can like look at it all a lot easier that way.
The problem with the desk PC is it goes against my previous philosophy of easy to access stuff. Because the second you want to clean anything in a desk PC, you have to take everything off of your desk to get to the components, and it's oh man, I just have come to realize I'm a really big fan of just quality of life type cases that are just like, they have just really nice features for those of us who are, you know, willing to handle a computer frequently, or at least semi-often.
I've been happy with mine in the sense that it's been kind of set and forget for a lot of things. Like, I really haven't had to mess with too much aside from adding things. Like, I've just added the GPU for hardware acceleration. I've added the Wi-Fi part for the VR thing, or not Wi-Fi, but the wireless part for the Wi-Fi for the VR setup.
Yeah.
But it's pretty easy to get in and out of this thing. Just thumb screws and glass comes off, and it's pretty easy. All the other glass just kind of pops off with a snap, and it's easy. And all the filters are just magnet. It's been pretty good case so far, at least for the 3 years I've had it now, or 2 or 3 years now. I think I forget. I think it's been 2 years since I built this. Yeah, that's what it was.
Some desks have drawers, or a thing with a drawer, just put it there, no need for stuff on the desk. Man, if you saw my desk right now, I like permanently have a drawing tablet on my desk. So I have, you know, my stylus next to it, and then I have, you know, my audio interface, and then I have my mixer, and then I have like a wireless phone charger, and then my controller charger, and then a Stream Deck, and then my, you know, mouse and keyboard. Trust me, there are things on my desk.
I feel this. I have more junk on my desk than anything, but I similarly have that drawing pad to my left. I have my tower to my right. And I have a puppy walking in. Where's the crash coming out? Oh, I didn't. Yes, Crash was mine. I didn't even hear him.
I'm really bad because I always build a new computer each time I get something new for the computer. Same, being an Intel user, that's kind of how it goes, though. Intel isn't as upgradable as D&D, as AMD. I was playing D&D with AI earlier today, so I have D&D on the mind.
I have an AMD build, and so far I'm happy with it. I haven't had issues. Nothing like seriously crazy that I've had to deal with.
Every now and then AMD catches up in terms of like creative technology, that they have a little bit of leeway for a second, and then Intel and Nvidia do like some weird like, oh, but we made this new more efficient codec, and it like just makes AMD's creation technology obsolete all of a sudden. Right now AMD is doing pretty decent keeping up with Nvidia in terms of creation stuff. But as far as processors go, they're definitely behind Intel in terms of creative.
But they're great for the price, I'll tell you that.
They are.
That's what my whole thing is. Like, I mean, there's all the things about how Nvidia and Intel's better, but like, that's good for the price.
No, for sure. I think
that's what I'll say.
I think that
like,
AMD is better for gaming for sure. I don't think you can say like one is like better for any reason because it's so subjective.
I mean, even
you know
then, like
mean?
creative wise, like drawing and stuff, it does fine too.
Yeah,
like
it's fine.
Stuff like that. I haven't like hard tested it or anything myself on anything that's crazy, like trying to render shit. But like,
right, and that's where you would notice it.
That's where I would probably notice it. But also, like, yeah, if you're just gaming and doing casual creation, I'd say, or like your average creation, not like hard, like you're trying to do 3D model rendering, that kind of stuff like that. I guess.
Oh no,
but,
I'm
like,
not even talking.
You're just doing.
I'm just.
But I'm saying, like, if you're just doing
editing.
like Photoshop and video editing, like well, you see the video editing perhaps, but like if just photo editing, even. Yeah.
Yeah, photo editing isn't really heavy for. You could probably photo edit on a potato, so.
Yeah.
I feel like that's.
But even like drawing and stuff though too, and doing color and art and all that kind of thing. Like basic creation, working on stuff like that, you know.
What's really bad is when NVIDIA pay game devs to make a great game that performs better on NVIDIA GPUs. I mean, AMD does the same, though. Not as much, but they also do it.
Yeah. That's like mine. I have a Ryzen 9 5900X is what it is. And that thing has been decent. I mean, I've been happy with it. It's the same one that I got Ronin, too. So Ronin has that one.
Right. Each can have use cases depending on certain workloads. Yeah, that's why I always ask what people are looking to do. Like, if people legit are just like, oh yeah, I want a game. I'm like, yeah, just get AMD, dude. Why even think about the other option? Like literally, I realized that I am a niche person. Like I am the niche that NVIDIA and Intel actually benefits, and the rest of pretty much everyone else is basically should be an AMD user right now. I am the target audience, you know? The crazy thing is it hasn't always been that way. It used to be like NVIDIA and Intel were basically the way to go pretty much no matter what, because AMD for a while had like a really high failure rate. Right? It was like when people wouldn't buy like an Xbox because they were afraid of it red ringing, right? Like it's like the same thing, like AMDs would overheat to the point of failure. So for a long time AMD had a really bad rep for overheating. But they've like caught up to the point where they're finally like stable enough that they don't do stuff like that really, and now Intel's having the stability issues. Dog go quiet?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just letting you talk. It is your stream. You have priority of talk.
I've always been AMD. My first NVIDIA was current 3080, and I've never bought an AMD CPU myself. Lol. Yet somehow I've bought multiple Xbox. Intel trying to push too hard on their current platform. That's true. They had like a roadmap, right? So this is what happened with Intel. For a long time, they had a roadmap of their like planned like way they were going to expand their products. And they kept saying, oh, next year we'll go to the next nanometer process. Oh, next year we'll go to the next nanometer process. And they never actually refined their technology enough to keep up with like finer printing processes. And that's why like ARM processors are like kind of threatening realistically like both Intel and AMD right now. I think Intel is trying to do, and people in chat can correct me on this if you know more about this than I do, because I'm not saying that I know very much about this at all, but I heard that I think it was either Intel or AMD, but I think it was Intel recently put in some sort of thing with the government where they didn't want ARM processors to be able to be like put in computers as much because it would be threatening to their entire business. Right, like if everyone stopped using x64 processors and started using ARM-based processors, AMD and Intel would both die as a company. AMD would have GPUs, but like, I don't know if just GPUs would be enough sales alone to keep them alive. At least, you know, like Intel's doing GPUs now too, I guess. So they have that going.
Yeah, Arc GPU.
Yeah. I feel like that's probably, I feel like they probably both felt like they had to get into the GPU market because the CPU market is so quickly going to ARM-based processors that I don't know if they're going to be making processors much longer, unless they're like super affordable in comparison to ARM processors. They do, but there's really not that much in the way. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we run ARM on our servers at work, and it's insane how much more they perform. Left arm or right arm? Both. Just depends on which one. I'm guessing this is the difficult path? Or the intended path? Oh, and then you gotta do one of these and not fall off. Got it. Depend on the mood. Yeah, exactly. Nah, dang. I think you gotta roll over the top there. Oh, it wants you to go this way first. Okay, sure.
Going.
The fact that, like, they're, like, trying to stop it. Oh, did all of those reset? They did. Dang. So you gotta go through them all and then you gotta come back through them all again? Or is it just the fact that they're... I'm a tech person. I am passionate about technology, so that's just how things go sometimes, you know? I mean, the last few streams we haven't been talking about tech as much. We've been talking about cars, feels like.
Funny enough, yeah.
So,
It's kind of more my alley, honestly. But I'm just more of a car nerd, I guess.
I wasn't here, lol. Get out of my way. There we go. All over the top. No, that was bad. Ugh. I lost too much speed. Dang. Oh, that's true. You could just... Oh. Yeah, whoever that was is smart. Because that's faster anyway.
Yeah, I like cars. I just don't have the money for actually good cars. I just have a shitbox Ford. So...
A shitbox. Yes,
Yes.
the 1970 Ford shitbox.
So all of them. Got it.
Well,
I grew up in a Chevy household, relatively so. Plus, when you have a 2010s Ford Focus, yeah, you got yourself a shitbox. See, I'm just the one that would either have I would like to either have I guess
that was
I want my
terrible.
collection of Chevys and my collection of Subarus, I guess is the way to put it. Because those are the two main brands as far as like brand cars that I would want the most, I guess, as far as like dream cars. I like my Camaros. I do like Corvettes, honestly. And like I do love Subarus though too for that taste. But
No minivan should have 200 horsepower and VTEC from the factory.
I see, I'm okay with that.
No.
I like the idea of a speedy van.
I like vans. My first car was a van.
I drove a van around for a bit myself because we had that we had like a '96 Plymouth Voyager.
Yeah.
But it had that it had a V6 in it, and it actually went like when you took all the seats out. Ooh,
Right.
yeah, you get a little bit extra speed. But I'll tell you now, there is
Gotta
a
reduce the weight.
downside. There is a downside to having a van, especially if your van is all white. You are tailed by the police far more often. Just so you know.
Just in case you
I
didn't
think
know
any
that
van-
before.
Any van, perhaps, possibly, but I've just found that like they would, when I was driving that white van, I would actually have cops follow me all the time.
Right.
It was crazy. Like in any other car, never, but like in that car, yeah.
I could have gotten that finish. Dang. That is not a minivan. That is a soccer mom van with benefits. Isn't a soccer mom van a minivan? I'm confused.
Soccer Mom, to me, Soccer Mom is minivan. That is like Toyota Sienna, Dodge Grand Caravan, or Town and Country, or whatever they call them. You know, then Honda Odyssey. But then you got crossovers, and I would take a minivan over a crossover.
I also would take a minivan over a crossover.
I would, hands down.
Crossovers, like, I understand why people like and get crossovers, but like, man, what a simplification.
They are,
of all
in
the
my
things.
opinion, a plague on the car community. In my opinion, they are just a plague because, like, they've used it to ruin good cars in the sense of like the Lancer from Mitsubishi. Mind you, Mitsubishi is not what they used to be, but they just made it a crossover instead. No, you ruined it. You killed it. Not the legacy that it needs to be. Or like the new Ford Mustang E, the electric Mustang that they're doing. While there still is the standard Mustang around, the whole hatchback crossover electric thing, not for it. Don't use the Mustang name for that. As much as a Ford fan, I'm not.
Hatchback, yeah, that's
like and
weird. Dude.
That's like, I'm not the biggest Ford fan, obviously here, but like, I know Mustang has a legacy to it, just like Camaro would have legacy to it, just like the Charger or Challenger has that legacy. Right. So why would you do that to it? Like,
well, that's the same point I was making the other night. Well, not exactly the same point, but like a similar point I was making the other night to them just like putting Cobra on everything, right?
Yeah, they just slap it on there because it's a name.
Devaluing the name.
Well, to be fair,
by not letting it mean what it actually ever meant.
In the past, when it came to Mustangs, there are eras where you have Cobra on there, and you do have yourself a powerhouse. You do have yourself a good sports car, better than the standard version. Right. Same with Camaro and like their ZL1 or whatever. But I think more like the GT kind of stuff, the mid tier, where it really isn't much of an upgrade, but it makes it seem like it is. It just kind of gives it better features, not just better performance. You know, I guess that's good for creature comfort, but not creature comfort, just comforts. But I don't know. Okay, Nova's actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just reading that out loud. Yeah, I'd be tempted to. The problem is every time I'm on this white background, I can't read it because it's white text on white.
I'll read. I'd be tempted to buy an infamously bad car model like Chevy Nova, Chevette, Vega, or such, then just get it back to mint perfect and just keep it legendary value. Yeah. To be fair, Novas are not unpopular, I'd say. Novas are actually pretty common to see around. My dad had them. My uncle had one, like, when they were kids. Like, I grew up around Novas and stuff. Not that they're like a Camaro or a Chevelle, but they are pretty popular for what they are. Unless you're talking like 70s and up. I don't know. If you're like late 70s, then meh.
Dude, this track.
Yeah. I feel that pain. Not that I'm 6'5", but I am 6'1" or 6'2", around that range. And fitting into sports cars is... Oh. Also, being heavy set doesn't help you there. That's my issue.
Alright, we're gonna do it this time.
Okay, I will say this.
No, we're not.
Subarus can have some headspace. That's why I liked my Outback and actually my Legacy. They both had really good headspace for me. So I'm also just a Subaru fan, so don't mind me.
I've never heard you talk about Subaru, not once.
Which, like, if I talk to any car person, for sure, like, then they laugh at me for liking Subarus a lot because they have issues. But the thing is this: every car has issues.
True.
And you're gonna deal with those issues. They're just different per car, per brand. You know, it just what headache do you want to deal with? You know, because yeah, I might have a hard time getting my spark plugs, and I might have bad head gaskets in a Subaru, but other cars have other worse issues, like or more annoying issues. If I had a German like a Volkswagen, you have to buy a whole set of tools for that, just for that car.
Dang.
but that's a commitment. If you like Volkswagens, you buy those tools and you work on your car. So like, I mean, you know, yeah, no, I will say though, newer WRX is not. No, I'm not big on the new generation WRX. Took me a minute to come around to the last one, honestly, but I actually would love one of the last generation ones. But I also really just like the I like the stink eye Subis from like 09.
There we go.
If I could have a collection, I would have like OG 90s Subis, like GCs, and then I would have the Blob Eye. I would not get a Hawkeye. I don't like the Hawkeye grills. And I would get a stink eye. All Subaru jargon.
Oh wow, is this Two-Face from YouTube? Oh my god. Lol.
One triangle socket for VW is $65. I believe it. Oh yeah. Working on like V-dubs, Audi, anything from that, like that. I remember like one day showing up to Grandpa's house. He had an Audi, I want to say like a A4 or something of that nature.
Yeah, I remember.
To get to a certain part, he had the entire front end dismantled just to get to a certain part. Like, I was like, what is going on here? I'll tell you, Azrian, I knocked the Toyota Prius until my mom got a Toyota Prius, and I had to drive that around after my Subaru died. And in California, Prius is nice. You save a lot more money on gas. BMWs are another one that like I like Beamers, and I like the idea of like having a very specific Beamer, but that's a financial undertaking, and also technical, like fixing those things would just be a headache too. I think, I don't know, if I had to do it myself. But if I were to get a BMW, I want like a, was it E36? What is the year? No, what is the number? I just want a wagon. I want a 5 Series wagon from like the late 90s, early 2000s. I think I said that last week too, probably.
Cargo vroom.
Cargo vroom. I think for me also, I just like Japanese cars typically though. Like I lean toward Japanese and that kind of setup. I don't know. Like I'd rather buy a Toyota truck than a Chevy truck, and I'm a Chevy fan, but I would rather buy a Toyota. But also, I don't like big trucks. Ooh, 328 Xi all-wheel drive.
You guys got to stop taking over my stream with stuff I can't talk about. I'm just sitting here like, yep, those sure are numbers.
That's me with computer stuff. That was me like, what, 30 minutes ago when y'all were talking about computer stuff, so. Like, yeah, tech things. I think depending. Oh yeah, they are built for small people mostly, but like I think depending on which brand you go for. And then also modern times, they just got bigger and bigger. Every car is bigger now. Nissan.
Knees, son.
Knees, son. Nissan. Dotson.
Dang, I was so close to
But
getting
she-
the risky that one time.
You should just like throw people off and put like a Datsun emblem in place of your Nissan emblem. Like if you had like exactly like just what the modern one looks like, but if you could find like a Datsun instead of Nissan, and let's see
Right.
what people do. What son? That son.
Oh, there we go.
The funny thing is like both me and Two Face from one relative, like I think both picked up like an aspect of each side of it, I guess. Because like Grandpa was into computers
I
and
can work
cars.
on cars, but I can't talk about cars. No one ever talks
Yeah.
to me about cars. I don't know car lingo,
Yeah.
but I know like,
I think, like,
how to pick up
I
a
picked
tool
up-
and use it.
Yeah, I think I picked up more of the car geek from him, I guess, in that sense, like of like what he like being around him and like picking up that car geek kind of thing. That's just my experience with it too. But also knowing that he had all those computers too, like that was also perfect gateway
Right.
into that. I just wasn't around enough to really, well, at least not when he was really
Into
doing that
it.
much with the computers back then. You know,
Yeah.
like by the time I was around him, he wasn't into it as much anymore. So it was more about fixing the cars. And a lot of times it was because I had to work on my car with him. Like it was
Right.
just, I had to. I was forced to kind of. I was the one person in the house that could do it, I guess. So in turn, like I'm going with him to go pick up cars and we're talking, I'm geeking, I'm picking brain, you know.
I'm good. I'm nearly 6 even. I'm like 5'11 and some change, like 5'11 and a half or some BS like that. I'm good with my height. I don't need more. I'm fine.
I'd rather be shorter, honestly.
Man,
Howdy.
I cannot track bouncy.
I mean, I think Nissan was actually
There we go.
it means what, brother, I think. Or yeah, Onisan and Nissan and Nichan are all like young men references, so it can be like older brother or something.
This is a 150 speed check. Arms up. Okay, I see. Be careful, slow down. Yeah, you did have to slow down quite a bit there, lol. And then you go back up a rocky surface? Oh, geez. Ooh. Oh, there's glass on it. Oh, I was bracing for that.
Yeah, I just remember Nissan, or like that, and it's just the Japanese term for it. Like just because my uncle would call my stepdad Nini or Nissan instead of his name.
Man, what a long track that was. Jeepers.
Jeepers.
And you want to hit that drop off at like 150 or else you don't hit the like bank on the bottom. You would get like a flat landing and that would be not great.
Not great. More familiar with Korean honorifics. I'm very like vaguely familiar with the Japanese ones just because of my memory. But I was I have like Okinawan step family, so I got to hear Obasan, Oji-san, Nisan, Tosan, Futsan. We started joking about it later on. We're just like toe, foot.
All right, all right. Kind of clean. Just not gonna freak out so much on this uphill.
Don't freak out.
Oh, just kidding. Track over.
You freaked out.
I never realized how much time is
Japanese.
left on the clock. I like never look at the track timers.
Oh, Snap a Trash Salad won that one there. I haven't really been paying attention to the podium, to be honest, but I just noticed that Trash won, so I was like, woo!
I never pay attention to podium, I'm not gonna lie.
At this point, when I'm in stream, I really don't.
Yeah, no, especially when I'm in stream.
I'm honestly barely even focusing on
the second
racing.
I'm not
but
racing, I'm looking at chat, you know? Like, I'm never paying
Yeah.
attention to who's in what place. What the hell? Where did they get all that? Whoa, nut. Where did you get that speed, goddammit? Did you just wall ride
Light
this first
novels,
section?
manga,
Is that
manga.
where?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Probably. There we go. Then, is that just too much speed? It is. You just jump over it. Okay. Interesting. I don't think that's enough speed. Yeah, okay.
I want the speed.
Can't wait for my controller. Tried playing keyboard tonight. Bad idea. Keyboard and Tiger Place tracks don't go together, lol. It's amazing how many people play Zapekist on keyboard, I think. I don't know, I'm one of those people, I just like try to read the game and like see which one seems more advantageous on a game per game basis, typically. I don't really have like loyalty to keyboard over controller or vice versa. It depends on the game type.
I think I've like forced myself to do keyboard with some games where I would rather typically use a controller. Like, I don't know, when it has more first person element to it, and there's like a small bit of driving element. Like, for example, I'll say Cyberpunk. I'll just manage with keyboard. I don't want to, I'd rather just be on a keyboard for that kind of game and manage the steering instead of like have to get on there for that.
Games that make me pick make me sad.
Yeah. If it's a racing game where it's primarily about cars, then I'm controller all the way. But if it has anything else to do, like anything outside of cars, I'm more likely to play it on keyboard.
Right.
Although, I don't know, like GTA 5 or GTA to me is easier on a controller. But I've also never really fully played it on keyboard, and
when I
it just
played
seemed daunting
GTA
to me.
5, I would play hybrid. I would
keep your controller next to you and then just pick it up for driving.
Next to me. Every second that was an FPS game was keyboard and mouse, and every second that was driving or flying was controller. Like,
yeah, it's hard with that game because, like, I don't know. I think shooting with controller sucks in that game. So like,
yeah,
it really
exactly
does.
Though, right? Like,
and so like,
I wish it didn't, but that doesn't mean it doesn't.
Yeah, and like I think it's because I've been forced to like do it for so long when I was on console back then.
Used to playing racing games on keyboard, so playing them on a controller feels weird, and I don't feel like taking the time to relearn a wheel would be different. Well, for me, like anything where having the ability to not have a digital input is advantageous in any way is an excuse for me to use something with an analog input. And when I say something with an analog input, I don't mean a fucking analog keyboard with like 3 millimeters of key travel. That is not enough.
I will say though too, like controller, like it definitely is its own like learning curve though too with some games, like
Right.
And having the right controller does really make a difference, I feel.
Even,
so like
even Zapekist, like learning how to smooth steer on Zapekist is huge.
Being able to really smooth steer with an analog stick is my whole thing. Why I prefer it over keyboard.
Right. Same.
But also just like different ways controllers are built. Like I like having a good trigger, on the back end of it. There, I don't like having just buttons back there like some other controllers have in the past. So I'm glad that it's become more standard to have a trigger style. But at the same time, I know they do that so you can do it for the FPS games, and I don't have a desire to use that for FPS. I like that my controller even has customized travel for it, but I only have it max
for FPS games. There's like no reason in using a controller.
Yeah, that's the thing is I know people like get controllers for that specifically, and I'm like, but your mouse and keyboard's better. Like
there are like games that have been. There was a game recently where console players got really upset that like PC players like felt like they had an unfair advantage over it, so they separated the servers, console from PC. And it's like, yeah, because you're limiting yourself by only having like a certain range of motion. That's not our fault that you're limiting yourself.
I guess another thing that also became an issue was like for like games like I guess like Call of Duty, for example, where you be on a controller or a keyboard in the match against each other, but like there are certain assists that you have on controller that it's like there's certain things that are give or take, like
right.
Like there's like some things here like you're losing out on this, but you're gonna get this, like
right.
And to me, I would just rather deal with the mouse and keyboard instead. And like to me, that was having to learn it at first, but after I learned it, I could never go back to playing on a controller. Like once I discovered how good mouse and keyboard feels on a game like that, why would I go back to a controller?
Yeah, no, that's just it, right? Like once you experience it and you finally just sit in it and you're like, wow, I was doing it the other way the whole time. How did I even have the sanity to like do that at all? For me, going back to like games I used to play on controller feels so alien, and it's like, man, why did I put up with this?
But even then, like, I mean, in the 5 years that I've gotten myself used to that, like my partner Naughty, he'll play some games mouse and keyboard because he has to, but if he can help it, he's on controller, like DBD controller, it's all that's controller. And so like I don't know, it's just preference, it's like what you're used to. Like if you were always console player and you just always use the controllers and you just can't get into the mouse and keyboard for that, fair, like play what you play, if you do better on that, do it.
Yeah, to each their own. If you're enjoying it, that's what matters, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it works for you too, like if the keyboard hurts your hands more than the controller does, then use the one that's less painful. Like,
or just be
that's part of his issue too.
And press shift with your thumb.
See, I also for a while, I was using that. We have Lupin's had the Razer Nostromo, which is like that little like side like keyboard for like one hand. It's mainly meant for like MMOs and stuff like that, I guess. But I use that as my primary pseudo keyboard for the longest time because I just had my laptop and I had it set up on my desk, but I didn't have any space for an actual proper keyboard on my desk with the laptop being where it was. So my fix was using that thing, and I had to rebind all my controls all the time, even limited me on my controls. That's why it became hard to play games like GTA 5 and stuff, because there's more controls than I can map. And
Megan didn't like first person games at all until she did keyboard and mouse, because they were disorienting for her. I had her try keyboard and mouse. I'm like, is this better? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, because your brain matches the input. Like with like You know how like in video games you used to have to like set your like look sensitivity when you used a controller because it really, really mattered. Like
or like inverting it or something like that.
Right,
too,
right.
Like all those kinds of things.
Certain
like,
people just don't like click with that or like know how to like work with like a fixed like looking speed. You know what I mean? Looking at a speed that would feel more natural to you and that you have a more direct control over. I think it's just easier to play most first-person games with that way.
Yeah, when you have a mouse where you can like snap to the right, snap to the left,
Yeah, exactly.
versus like relying on your analogs, like you actually being able to turn at that specific speed like that
right.
gives you.
And then a lot of times the problem with analog is you need like an auto aim system so you're not like overturning, overcorrecting, looking a direction or something like that.
Yeah.
WASD, there arrow keys. I don't have a preference. I'm a Binding of Isaac player, so I play both.
I'm always on WASD. I never use my arrow keys. Funny enough.
I'm also an old MMO player, so I've had to use a lot of different keys for a lot of different things. I'm just not picky.
I think I just don't play any games that really require the arrow keys too much. At least not that I use those for. I think this game requires arrow keys, doesn't it? For the keyboard, or is it WASD? My WASD doesn't work, so you can set it though.
Yeah, it depends. You can set it to whatever you want. WASD, I believe, is an option, but I think it's dedicated for.
You have to rebind it. Yeah, you can rebind, is what Cobalt says.
Something like that.
See, the clicky from the keyboard, that's also a preference thing too, for sure.
Yeah.
If you like the clicks, or if you like a silent, or variant, whatever variants you like. You like to feel the tactileness, or you want it to be kind of less tactile. I don't know, whichever you like, I guess. I think I like that more for the first person stuff, because I do like the kind of feeling of all that when I'm moving around on the WASD. But
I like tactile keyboards. I like to know when I'm making an input, especially if the input is digital. I can understand it being like linear if it was an analog thing. But if it's something that has a point in which it turns from a 0 into a 1, I want to know when that is happening through my sense of feel. You know what I mean?
Feel it,
Yeah, I want to know, okay, I have pressed the button, not, oh, I accidentally brushed a key like 5 minutes ago and now my entire whatever I'm doing is ruined. You know what I mean? But to each their own, I'm trying
to remember now what keys I got again. What switches I got again? They're baby something.
Baby kangaroos. Yeah,
that's right. Baby kangaroos.
I like baby kangaroos.
I keep wanting to say like alligators for some reason.
Baby kangaroos to you.
Yeah, no, but when I was getting this keyboard,
Is it the ducky?
I think you ended up getting some. Yeah, ducky.
Yeah. Hearing the click is reassuring. See, I don't like the click, but only because like I'm always on a microphone. That's the only reason I don't like a click, is literally because I'm just always on a microphone, and it's just a pain to have to manage. Otherwise, I would probably prefer it if I wasn't like talking to people or recording something.
Yeah, Gateron Baby Kangaroo tactile switch. Was it Gateron or Gateron?
I've heard both. I think it's.
They've been great though. Like I have no complaints. And also, one thing I did with mine too is I ended up buying just for a visual appeal, but I ended up buying those pudding caps too, and I've loved that. That's one of my favorite things I've done to this, because it just looks so smooth. It has a clean, just
pudding caps are nice as long as your keyboard has like really good RGB. They can look really bad if your keyboard has like north-facing RGBs, which just means the light is on the other side of the key switch from you, whereas like south-facing RGBs, which is what is generally considered better, is where the light is on the closer side to you from the key switch. So it looks better under the keycap.
They're a little darker on the bottom side, like on the facing me side, but I think it's just because there's also like the black plastic bit in there that gets like, it's kind of making that, you can kind of see the line of the black plastic center for the cap. Because it has the black cap and then it has the pudding, like the opaque. The opaque on the
hardest part about keyboards, I feel like, is people will sell you garbage for like quite a lot of money sometimes. And if you don't know, like if you're just that person that's just gonna buy whatever like Razer or Corsair or whatever sells you, you might be buying like a $5 keyboard for like $70. Like, and that sucks ass. That sucks ass.
I was gonna say, like, I'm happy I went for the Ducky instead of a Corsair, because I was looking at Corsair before. That was the thing. Is remember, like, you were showing me Ducky instead of Corsair,
right?
Because of that, and that has been a great purchase. And like, what I do like is that it's all on board too. So like, I could just go in there and change the things if I want to, and have different, like, profiles. But I just have it on a constant RGB thing, and then like my WASD and my arrow keys and my escape are all just white.
Right.
So I have those like designated.
How did I lose 1.2 speed? That makes no sense.
I will say I have also enjoyed the wireless mouse too myself, but I have the whole pad that it sits on too that keeps it charged. So I haven't had any issues with this mouse though. It's been super good since I've gotten it. It's the G507.
I'm not saying the Corsair keyboards are like a bad keyboard. I'm saying you're overpaying when you buy a Corsair keyboard.
They're a lot more
the
fluff.
Same thing for a lot less at higher quality with other brands.
They're a lot more fluff for the name that they are and all the features that they say they throw into them, I guess.
That's right, like iQ is cool, but there's so many softwares that do what iQ does now, and more.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool back in the day when it was the only thing doing it. Yeah, I have a K95 somewhere. Actually, I think I might have damaged it and thrown it away, now that I think about it.
And like, Corsair ain't bad either. Like, I mean, my whole case is my AIO, my RAM, my power supply, all that's Corsair, and it's been fine. And everything else outside of that's MSI.
Keychron, in my opinion, is like the king of keyboard manufacturers right now. You can really get like crazy cost to quality ratios with Keychron. Like, they'll have things that you're like, how are they even charging that little and still making a profit on it? And then you get the keyboard and you're like, something's sus, this is gonna be weird and jank. And then you get the keyboard and it's like an actually just fantastic keyboard. And you're like, how are they doing this for so cheap? What are they doing? What black magic?
I will say one thing I even considered at one point when I was still playing the PS5 quite a bit, because I would be on the GT7 lobbies, was getting a separate keyboard for just the PS5. And I thought about getting one of those 8-bit Do.
Yeah.
Those ones, or like something of that nature too, where it's just kind of like wireless and I can have it in the living room kind of thing. Is something I wasn't even thinking of doing.
Yeah.
But like having a proper keyboard, not just some like cheap Logitech wireless one that's like all flat.
Right.
So I don't like flat keyboards. That's one thing I didn't like about the laptop, or like any kind of flat keyboard where there's like very small profile of key. I don't like them.
I can get used to it, but I don't prefer it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I can get used to it, but like, I wouldn't want one for sure. Like, as far as my personal use, I would not want one.
I have thought about trying to build a low profile keyboard. I think it would be nice to have like a keyboard I can like throw in my backpack, but is still a separate keyboard. I've heard some low profile key switches are nice. I don't know, it really depends. The low profile mechanicals that they have out are really nice, and they're not as flat as like the little HP membrane keyboards. You know what I mean? They're not like the chintzy little like $10 Walmart boards.
I think, to be fair too, like, if you're buying like a Walmart base like Logitech or whatever like keyboard, versus getting an actual like proper made, good mail-made keyboard, you know what I mean?
It's actually kind of
because you're getting some Walmart.
It's actually kind of crazy how fast keyboard technology moves in comparison to mouse technology. Not Lenovo. Logitech has been making like the best mice in the market for years, and they just won't stop. Like, oh, I think I'm gonna have to add Code Waltz track after this.
I ain't gonna lie, you got me looking. I should be in game right now, but you got me looking at Ducky.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
I'm happy with my Ducky. Honestly, I would go back to Ducky.
Ducky is really, really nice, but like in comparison to Keychron, you're gonna be paying more for the same thing. I don't. This isn't me saying, oh no, never buy Ducky. This is just me saying like you can get the same thing for less, basically. You know?
Yeah. But I mean, I just like the different varieties that Ducky offers.
Makes
though,
clean
too. They have
styles.
some.
I'm not gonna lie.
They make clean
have nice
styles.
Caps too.
And like even like the Chinese Zodiac ones they did, like they look cool. Like, I like that they have different series and different like things you can kind of pick from. I like that a lot myself. I haven't checked out, when you're talking about myself yet, but like as far as I like on Ducky, that's what I like. I will say with 8-bit though, even though I'm not one that really grew up with Xbox, I really do dig the Xbox controller, Xbox keyboard and mouse combo they have there, where it's the see-through, the transparent green.
I really like it, but if I got it, I've heard it's garbage, and it makes me so sad.
Visually,
because like
visually it's
I
appealing,
want it, but like I know that if I got it and I wanted to use it, I would have to mod it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would have to.
I see, like if I were to buy another controller, another keyboard as a secondary, it would probably be just like a small 10 keyless one.
Dude, I got a 10, and this doesn't apply to everyone because people like really like their 10 keyless keyboards, but like I got a 10 keyless keyboard, and oh my god, I was just mad. I was just mad all of a sudden. I was just like, where the hell did my extra keys go? I needed those. And I didn't think it would bother me that much, but it did. I didn't think I was a 10 key person, but apparently I am. Oh, we need to add Code Walt's track.
Yeah. I'm definitely typically a 10 key person myself because I like having my number pad. I hate having to input it like that.
I was so frustrated. I was so mad at myself for letting myself get a 10 keyless when I knew that I used the 10 key.
I think for me, just for the sake of portability and compact, is where I would use a 10 keyless. Just because, like, if I'm going somewhere and I just want to have a controller with keys that I like, and I can use it portably on some other system, then yeah, sure. But like at home on my desk, 10 key, I have to. Like on my desk, I have to have that. Or at work, I have to have the 10 key.
Right.
I can't live without the 10 key.
Same. What's up, Board?
Not much. Even though the tiny keyboards are nice because they're really compact, that 10 key just saves me all the trouble.
Right when
it's a use case thing for sure.
It's right when I think I won't need it or use it is when I need it or use it. Like,
yeah.
It's the second I think, why would I need a 10 key? I don't need a 10 key.
I don't use the top row for anything but gaming purpose. I think the top row numbers, it's really just gaming purpose, or just of course the attached symbols to those. But like, anything I'm inputting numbers though on average basis, it's always gonna be 10 key. Like calculator, all that kind of stuff, phone numbers. I just operate better on that format. Like I can't do the whole line. That's always bugged me since I was a kid. Like, why is there a line on top?
I can do it, right? But I'm not going to be able to do it and like read data at the same time with a 10 key.
I make more errors if I'm on the whole line. I'd make less errors on the 10 key. I can
just look at the screen and just 10 key to my heart's content. Whereas with a number row, there's like no... If they had like the same thing that your home row has, where your like F key and your J key have the little bumps on it, on the number row, that would make the number row so much more usable, but they don't have it.
Yeah, I had bad experiences. I was deployed overseas, and you got to punch your number in, and if you mess up too many times, you get locked out. Well, I'm in the middle of nowhere, messed up twice, and I'm freaking out like, man, why didn't this laptop just have a numpad? That's all I need.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't get locked out, because then I would have fly to another base to actually get access again.
Oof.
Yeah.
10 key actually has 10 keys. No, mine has like 17 actually. Let me see here. 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
I have
21 to be exact, I guess.
So Ducky makes a separate, like a standalone 10 key you can buy, and I've often debated just getting the really nice Ducky standalone 10 key and then just swapping out like a 10 keyless, because it's a cheaper like build cycle to do that. If you're like a keyboard enthusiast like I am, like it's cheaper to build a new 10 keyless than it is to build a full-size keyboard. Like,
And then you can just get yourself a
lot,
nice 10
even.
key, yeah.
Right. Then
Nice
you just,
number pad.
Then you just have a nice numpad all the time, and you're not having to switch it out whenever you
What
want.
happens when you misplace it?
What happens when is it leaving your desk? What do you mean misplace?
Whenever my cats decide to run a marathon on my desk for no reason.
Sounds like your own problem. Sounds like you're not the target audience here.
See, for me, it just gets lost under other stuff because I end up stacking things on top of things.
I didn't even think about that.
My desk, I need to sit down.
This is
like
Borg. They were just
and
in
clean
chat,
my desk.
Yep. Welcome, guys. I have a channel if you really want to check it out.
Are you Revenger 19 in game? No. Are you Borg? You're just Borg in game. Who's Revenger? I talked to Revenger at one point, or they were in my stream or something. I just haven't seen you on the leaderboard because you haven't been getting leaderboard finishes. Come on, buddy.
Hey,
just kidding.
At least I got
the real excuse. The real excuse is that I haven't been looking at the leaderboard at all, so I wouldn't know if you had gotten leaderboard finishes, and you should have just called me out on that.
I would, but you gotta understand, I barely have like 3 hours of game time in Zapekiss.
We're gonna have to change that, aren't we?
I know. I bought it, and then every time I play when Cosmo and Con were playing, they're playing stupidly hard maps.
Yeah. So you're telling me I should put on a bunch of my tracks. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh boy.
I'll put on monorail real quick. Everyone will be fine. The worm tracks.
Oh boy. On that rain track so I can actually maybe finally finish it.
I can't believe you haven't. That's insane.
I still have not finished it. I've gotten as close as the down curve, but I fell off of it. Like the down curve after the spiral section, the weird spiral section. What do you call it? Just before the finish.
Confirmed. I only have 3 hours and 3.2 hours in the game.
Jeepers, mister. I mean, Cosmo basically doesn't even play Zapekiss anymore these days. I'll see him in a lobby every now and then just chilling, but like he doesn't even do Zapekiss content right now.
Yeah.
No, he's always busy, and I wish I knew this map.
I don't know this map either. This was a submission. This was a submission.
It's a code block.
To the, track submissions. So I'm assuming it's new. Ish. Maybe not brand new, but new-ish. Who knows? I can guarantee you I've probably played only like 50% of CodeWalt's tracks. He has so many.
I can guarantee you though that 50% of my track playlists were all just CodeWalt maps, probably.
Right.
So many CodeWalt maps that we just play because they're so good.
New Voice has played with Cosmo and Con and is not Scrapman. Nah, he's like a buddy of Cosmo's. He has a YouTube. Senpai. If you want to link your YouTube, just DM me the link and I'll put it in chat because I don't think YouTube will let you do it because YouTube hates links.
Nope. Well, not just that, but YouTube also hates the fact is I don't have enough followers. I'm a loser.
Lol.
Hey, that's the price you pay when you work a full-time job and then sign up for the military reserves.
Oh, I don't feel that. I feel the first part. Either. I feel that. I feel the first part of the second part. I'm not in the military.
Yeah, it's
it's
an experience.
Well, Mr. California, how's the heat? Is it hot down there yet?
It's only 85, surprisingly.
It's only 85. Okay. I mean, it hasn't really gotten over like 73 for us up here. I don't think so. Last time I was down there, it was April and breaking 100. That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So last year it was like 118 coming out of work.
Ugh, fuck that.
Oh, the worst part is they built a brand new building, yet the AC wasn't working then.
Oh god, and we're talking NorCal. This is what we're talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh god, that area without AC is hell.
Yeah.
Especially when it keeps dying on you, or if you just have a swamp cooler.
That too.
Do you have a swamp cooler? Dude, that's the struggle right there. The NorCal swamp coolers.
The NorCal swamp cooler struggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have that, but that's basically kind of what they put in, essentially.
Ugh.
at work. It's like some crazy gas stuff they have to have shipped in,
Oh, weird.
and it's supposed to help cool faster and be cheaper.
Huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was not cheaper the first year in the new
Thing
building.
is, sometimes though, even the AC don't help out there.
No, it does not.
It
all the
doesn't.
time.
Like, and there is even like I remember I used to work security, at like school campuses out there and stuff, and I overnight, mind you, and so like, and this was a company that had a lot of, they were bad,
No.
but they had like a lot of like hand-me-downs for their uniforms that you had to pick from. You didn't go get a new uniform or anything; you had to get hand-me-downs, and like,
to be honest, any security company in Northern California, almost all their stuff's hand-me-downs.
oh, I know it. That pretty much is the case. But like, that's the thing is like, for me though, being as big as I am, hard to find shirts in that sense. Not that I'm huge, but like, you know,
You should have been fine.
3 to 4X. Well, the thing is, they didn't have any that were in good condition. They had one short sleeve shirt, button up uniform shirt that was a giant gaping hole in the armpit that they still let be used for employees to wear apparently. But that's the only one option that I had. The other one was a long sleeve, thick, like a thicker material, like I don't know, call it wool. No, I just know it was one of the thicker dress shirts, but it was meant for more cold weather, and that's the only one I could wear that looked presentable. So I would only wear that one, but it's long sleeve in the summer, and even at nighttime. What's that?
You didn't want the natural built-in AC one with the hole?
It just looks so bad. It was just a giant torn hole in the side. Nope, not wearing that. Especially if I'm working security, no. But like, so I'd have to roll my sleeves up and everything just every night for that. There was one night I looked at the temperatures. It was July, about 85 degrees at midnight, and it was next to the river, so it was just muggy. And I was wearing that long sleeve thick knit. I was dying. I was just like walking around the campus there, and I was like, I hate this. I hate everything about this. And my truck didn't have any AC either, so it was just windows down.
Hey,
so
that's how I grew up. Almost all my vehicles don't have AC.
That's kind of why I'm used to windows down, honestly. Like my car now still, even when it's hot out, I just do windows down. Because also I'm used to like having little shit boxes that don't have any power. So all the AC's doing is making it slower.
Dude,
Like
I just hated getting into like leather cars in NorCal in the summer.
Oh yeah,
Seated
no.
Cars.
Oh yeah, the nice leg burns.
Seatbelt burns you in the back too.
Same goes for SoCal, dude. Trust me. Like growing up in the Coachella Valley myself, or around that area, there was one day, Mom, she had a black Honda Civic back in the 90s, and she set her shopping cart up against the bumper on a hot day while she was unloading the groceries. It indented the bars, the imprint of the bars into the bumper, and she had a permanent indent of like grid on her bumper because it was so hot and soft that it could melt into it.
That's how it goes, right?
And like, yeah, and like, I mean, even Arizona gets that where they like melted the whole like trash cans, like because of the sun. Like the sun just melts the trash cans even.
Right.
Yeah, that's like I was a kid and being in a house with a floor heater. Fell onto it after I got out of the bathtub as a kid. Had a waffle butt for almost a month.
Oof.
And when I say a kid, I was only like 3 or 4 years old.
I had like a like really classic like radiator heater when I was a kid, and I remember burning myself on that thing all the time.
Oh yeah, radiators are great for that.
We had the floor AC in like the first house I remember being in growing up, and I remember just in the summers in NorCal just like laying on top of the air vent so that it would cool me down.
Yeah. we used to get like that metal ducting tube stuff, and like we would actually pipe that from beneath the couch, because sometimes where your couch was placed, there's also where they placed the floor like the floor vent, and there's no other place to put the couch really, so like you had to put it over the floor vent. So we had to like find a way to like, you know, we had to divert all that stuff out. And I remember we would do that where we were just gonna be kind of poking out the back of the couch and just sitting on the side of it. And I'd be sitting on my couch and I would just go down and reach for it and just pick it up and point it at my face. And that was like just cold air directly in your face as you're sitting on the couch watching a movie.
Hey, I don't want to bring cars back up, but do you see the new vents in the cars for your
Uh,
lower region.
Oh, no. But I can imagine.
Yeah,
For the Nethers.
yeah.
Why does
I
that
have
sound like
vents in
the
my
opposite?
car.
Why does that sound like the opposite of the? Do you see when they were trying to like make planes more affordable, so they were having like standing seating or like layered
Oh,
seating
yeah.
where like people's butts were in people's faces, and it's like, yeah,
Oof.
that's what you want, like airport butt right in your face.
Yeah, I just came back from Florida a little while ago, and needless to say, I spent a lot of time on a plane. That would have been rough.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Planes already are rough. Like
agree.
it's already there. I grew up on those a lot, just going up and down California.
Yeah, I didn't ride planes until I was like, yes, I want to be in the military. Here's your first plane ride to basic, all by
Yeah.
yourself. Good luck.
I had divorced parents on either side of the state of California, so it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
go visit one and for the summer and go live with the other for the rest of the year. And so like I got
Yeah, so
really
you
used to. What's that?
North during the summertime when it was hot, so you could suffer
Yeah.
the pain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But wintertime was nice because at least I got to go somewhere that had a slight more potential of snow than where I lived because I lived in the desert. So like there was no snow down there. At least unless you went to the mountains or 29 Palms, that would happen sometimes. But
12 months, it'd snow once in a blue moon.
once in a blue moon for sure. But like, you go to the mountains out there, you can go out to that, you'll find some snow out there, but like definitely not in the Florida out there. But going up to NorCal was nice because at least there was more rain up there, and like spring was actually really nice. I like going to NorCal in spring because it was actually more rainy and I loved it. I prefer rain though. I don't like sun. Sun can go away even
I
though
am
we need it.
also a rain person.
My last deployment in the desert, I froze to death in a tower. So I will take the heat or like Florida weather, where it's like hot but not too hot.
See you,
I
Blackbird.
just got kicked out. I got kicked out of the lobby.
Don't do that.
I don't know, just Zkiss just kicked me.
Don't do
Back into
that.
Zkiss servers. It's trying. But
Yeah, it actually got pretty slow there for a second.
whoa.
This is gonna be
Like
the
when it
last
was-
track for the night, just as a heads up.
Alrighty.
I mean, I might as well just. It says failed to establish connection, no response from the host. Whatever.
Dang.
Yes,
I
that
am
means
going
I'm
the
done
wrong
with
way.
Zkiss.
This is a nice skybox, Codewalt.
Nice shield though.
If Codewalt's still here, I think he is.
I quite like the map, I will say.
Yep. Or he's at least in the game.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just blind. I'm just blind and not looking at names right now. Yeah, I see his name on the leaderboard now.
Blinded by science.
I just got caught by Shaky. I'm just assuming he's always shaking.
Hey Matt, what's up? Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, no, we're gonna be doing some more videos pretty soon here. Pretty soon. I've been slacking on the videos lately because I've had a lot of responsibilities.
I know that feeling.
Responsibility.
Responsibilitrance. With
And then I try to be
great
pro.
power comes great responsibilitrance.
Oh, the best part when you try to be proactive and you pre-record your videos, only for you to realize the video came out super choppy for some weird reason.
Oh, I hate that. I've had that happen a few times.
So that's what I'm hoping this Zapekiss video does not turn out like. I was not able to do a lot of testing before the start. But you know, you live and learn and you do it again.
What are you using for recording software?
OBS.
Yeah.
So OBS kind of does weird things sometimes.
I think
I just haven't figured out why.
Would you know what format you're recording in? You just doing
I'm
like
doing
MP4?
No, I'm doing the MKV.
They just released hybrid MP4, which has like all the benefits of MKV basically, but is
Okay.
technically MP4, so like more like easier for your computer to actually make
Process and
basically. Yeah.
Yep.
I would look into that.
Yeah.
And see, it's just in the settings. It just says hybrid MP4, and you can also like make markers on hybrid MP4. Like if you're recording and like you do something sick in your recording, you can like have a hotkey to put a marker in, and the marker will show up in your editing software.
Nice. I'm very bad at this editing. I just kind of drop the whole video a lot of times. So I usually try to keep them around like 40 minutes or less.
Ah, fair.
And main reason I just drop a video at whole is because I've got about enough time to record a video and maybe 5 minutes to edit. But I did just get in doing the beta for recording audio from the application separate from the desktop audio.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's super handy.
Having your audio split is really the way to go.
Yeah, I had it split for my mic and my game audio, but I just got it to where game audio is separate from desktop along with the Discord chat.
See ya, Azarine.
Because the issue I noticed is my mic is always really quiet for some reason.
Yeah. I'm even trying to get like the boys to record in my Discord instead of in a private chat, because there's a bot that you can put in a Discord server that will split everyone into their own audio track.
Ooh,
and then you have control over literally everyone's volume, which seems to almost always be a problem. Like no one is ever like perfectly balanced with each other. And sometimes like people are like barely audible in comparison to others, but that would be like a non-issue if you could just record everything separately.
I just try to follow what you just did in that little like curve.
Yeah.
Did not pan out. I just went straight down to the ground.
Dang, Codewalt's still 2 whole seconds ahead of me, and that was my PB.
Yeah, my PB is only 57, and it's probably not going to get better.
No, probably not with 14 seconds left.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 26 seconds in my run, so I might somehow find a shortcut, but I doubt it.
Right. Well,
GG
GG guys.
Doesn't do a lot of shortcuts.
This is going to be the end of the stream. Those of you in voice chat, thanks for joining me tonight. Appreciate having you on. And those of you watching, if you haven't liked the stream already, don't forget to like it. If you haven't subbed to the channel already, don't forget to sub to it. And if you haven't joined the Discord already, don't forget to join the Discord. The link is in the chat as of now. I'll catch you guys on the next stream, if not in the next video, which if I release it before the next stream, which I'm hoping to release it Friday morning, would be the last Chaos Inc. we did. I know it's kind of like a month out, but I'm hoping to like hit the ground running with all the pre-recorded footage that I have to edit right now, because things are starting to get a little more cleared up for me. Anyways, I hope you guys all like the stream. I'll see you later, and I am out. Bye.
Everyone, take care. Later.